They're not going to send the officer down, are they? The officer is? She has a knife or something? That's not exhaust initially. Marcel. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead. All right, copy. Thank you. You can bring me up. All right, go ahead. Okay. Does the stream want me to report? All right. Got it. Skyrifing Air 7 over the Westlake district, really just to the west side of downtown Los Angeles at 5th and Bixel. About 7:45 this morning, LAPD got a call that a woman had made herself down into this trench you see here, and she's refusing to come out. Now, initial reports were from the fire department. USAR has been called to try and rescue her, that she is not injured. Right now, she's just refusing to come out. They have spent a lot of time cutting away the rebar in this trench that you see there. It's a large construction site, once again, right at 5th and Bixel in the downtown Los Angeles area. And now LAPD officers are going down, trying to see if they coerce her to come back up. It appears that if she wanted to, she could just walk up the ladder. And you saw a lot of officers on top of that trench saying, come on up. You could see with their hands saying, just come on up, come on out. She's refusing to do so. So right now they've done everything they can do to make sure nothing falls in on her when she starts to come up. But at some point they're going to have to go down there, grab her, and take her out. You know, they've evacuated the entire construction site. Again, they don't think she's injured, but it's quite a rescue underway right here. You can tell by that shot just how many resources have responded now to try and get this woman out of this trench without incident. There's a lot of backhoes in this area. They had cut out a lot of trenches. We're not certain exactly what the construction underway is for right here at this construction site on this lot. But she went down in there on her own. We understand she found an opening, and then about 7:45 the call came out when the construction workers got here that she just would not come up out of that trench. So an LAPD officer just went down the ladder after clearing that entire area, and you could tell now he is pleading with her to come out, but he doesn't know exactly what he's dealing with either. He did call for less than lethal, a response to have just in case. Doesn't know if she might be armed or have a knife or exactly what he's going to have to deal with down there. But we're hoping at any moment she will come out. They'll be able to walk her up the ladder safely. Once again, the initial reports were that she was not injured. She just found her way down into this area, and now she refuses to come out. But there certainly is a huge rescue underway to try and get her out of the trench. We'll keep the shot up. We'll keep you posted as they try and slowly but surely get her to cooperate and hopefully get her to come out of this trench without incident and without injury. I'm Sky Rife in Air 7 over the downtown Los Angeles area, just the Westlake district, a little bit west of all the buildings in downtown LA and west of the 110 freeway. This is 5th and Bixel. About 7:40 this morning, LAPD got a call that a woman had found an opening and got down into this trench, and she was refusing to come out. So City Fire responded, the USAR, Urban Search and Rescue. They tore away all the rebar here. They made sure that no more rocks are going to fall into this trench. And now LAPD is trying to plead with a woman to come out of this trench. Now, if she's uncooperative at this point in time, we have the information from the fire department that she is not injured, but they're trying to get an LAPD officer down the ladder there to the woman, but if she's combative and she doesn't want to come out, it's an extremely difficult situation for officers to grab her and get her out. You can only imagine if she doesn't want to come out, What are you going to do? And that's sort of what they're dealing with right now. This is a construction site, once again, at 5th and Bixel in the Westlake district, and they've sent a lot of units to this area. A lot of, you can see backhoes in here digging trenches, and that appears to where the woman has got herself trapped. It was said she found an opening. So they're trying to get her out of this situation as quickly as possible so they can get things back to normal and, of course, safely. But at this point in time, they believe she's not injured. She's just refusing the aid of the fire department and the police department. But you can only imagine how difficult it is for LAPD. They're working with someone down in this trench that they can barely get to, and they're saying, I don't want to come out, leave me alone. So right now they're trying to do their best to try and get this situation under control, get her out so people can get back to work here in this construction site. But it could take a while. It's definitely a complicated situation when you have someone who's not going to cooperate. They did at one point call for a less than lethal gun to be at their side just in case she got too combative. I doubt we'll see it escalate to that, but at this point in time, as long as she's not going to cooperate, it's going to be extremely difficult for authorities to get her out of that trench. They're doing their best, but it's somewhat of an impossible situation in some ways. She's down in there. It appears to be maybe 5, 6, even 7 feet down in that trench and just refusing right now to come out. So we're airborne, we're overhead, we're looking straight down into that trench, and we'll keep an eye on this and keep you updated. But the hope here is that they can get her out of the trench soon. They can get her some help. She obviously needs that. They don't believe she's injured, but there could be some psych issues, obviously, and there's someone standing by to give her some medical aid if need be and just get things back to normal so folks in this area can get back to work. And we continue to follow a rescue in the downtown Los Angeles area in the Westlake district of a woman who got herself trapped. It seems on purpose down in a tunnel, is now refusing to come out. It's actually a trench. You understand there was an opening right off 5th and Bixel to this construction lot. She was able to get in there at about 7:40 this morning. When the construction crews got here, they called the LAPD and they said they had a woman down in this trench and she won't come out. It appears that she's fine. It appears that if she wanted to come out of the trench, she could. LAPD officers had gone down, or one officer had gone down on the ladder a few moments ago, was trying to coerce her. You could tell by using his hand, saying, it appeared, saying, come out, come on out, and that she is able to walk up the ladder, but she's unwilling to do so. So now a USAR, LA City Firefighters have gone down, and it looks like they're cutting away some more of the rebar. They've had to pull out all that rebar you see on the left. They swept away any rock or debris that could fall down into the trench when she starts to come out. Initial reports was she's fine, at least physically she's fine. She is refusing, though, from what we understand, to come out. So right now we have this technical rescue. USAR, the Urban Search and Rescue from LA City Fire, is just doing everything they can do to open up the trench and make it easy for her to come out. But she's refusing to do so. And boy, that is tricky. You get down in there, even if you get a hold of her, she's going to struggle with you and says, I'm not coming. It's a difficult situation. They had LAPD try and go down. Now it looks like a city firefighter's down once again, cutting away more of the pipes. There was a pipe led across this. There was a lot of rebar, just opening up the trench and making it bigger. Maybe if they do that, it'll be more appealing for her to come out. But hopefully they can get this done soon. It is disrupting a lot in this area at 5th and Bixel in downtown Los Angeles, and especially all the construction at this construction site. And once again, the initial reports were that she's fine physically. She is not injured. She's just refusing to come up. So we're going to leave this picture up. Hopefully, as I mentioned, they'll be able to get her out of this situation soon. It's really tough to see down in there. It looks like the firefighter's down about 7 or 8 feet. We believe there may be a pipe of some sort that runs parallel, and that's what she's actually in. So it's really difficult to grab her and pull her out, but that's what they're going to attempt here at any moment. So we'll leave the picture up, just sort of giving you an idea exactly what's going on here in the Westlake district as they try and rescue this woman who got herself, well, trapped possibly, or more than from what we understand, got herself in a situation and now she's unwilling to try and come out. So we continue to follow this rescue. A woman got herself down into a trench about 7:40 this morning at a construction site at Bixel and 5th in the downtown Los Angeles area. Now, moments ago, we had city firefighters down cutting away some more pipes, taking out some debris, and opening this up more. And now what we have is an LAPD officer going down the ladder, and it looks like he's going to try and get that strap around her and pull her up. Now, we understand she's not injured, but she is refusing to come out. That's the information we have from City Fire and from LAPD. So now we see a second officer going down, trying to get a hold of this woman and take her out of this trench. She's refused to come out. It appears that if she wanted to come out and walk up the ladder, she'd have the ability to do so, but she is struggling with officers and refusing to come out. So two officers, LAPD officers, just went down. I believe they now have access to her. It was a tight situation down in there before. They had to get firefighters down in there to clear more of the area away so the officers could get around her. But now I've sort of lost sight of them, but they're down at the bottom of that ladder, and they're trying to get a restraint around the woman and then get her to come up the ladder and out of this situation. But boy, there's been a huge response here. It's at 5th and Bixel in downtown Los Angeles. We understand the woman, at least initial reports, is not injured. About 7:45 some way, she found an opening down into that trench, and at this point in time, she refuses to come out. But I kind of have a feeling with what we've seen, how they pulled everything open, they really opened up the trench, they made sure nothing else could fall in. They have the ladder down, and they have two LAPD officers down there with her at the moment. So I believe they may be able to get her out of this situation sometime soon. I mean, it's hard to tell for sure in situations like this, but they have two officers down there. They're trying to do their best to just trying to get her to come up that ladder. Physically, we don't believe she's hurt. There's obviously some psych issues at play here, and they'll have medical assistants standing by to take a look at her when they get her out. We'll keep this shot up. I just want to give you a narration once again of what's going on here. She's not injured, but there's a technical rescue underway, if you will, trying to get her out of this situation without further harm. LAPD, once again, is down in the trench, and I think at any moment now we may see them come up with this woman who's been trapped since about 7. I shouldn't say trapped. She got herself into this situation willingly and now refuses to come out. This started about 7:45. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if they have her out sometime soon, because we have two officers down the ladder with her. There's a difficult time getting down there, but just a moment ago we saw two of them go down with a restraint, and once they have the restraint on her, hopefully they can get her to come up. We'll continue to follow this. We'll keep the shot up. Once again, we're in downtown LA, the Westlake district, actually at 5th and Bixel. It's not a huge traffic incident. It's not going to affect traffic. Bixel shut down right at 5th, so you lose that. But all in all, you can get around to this area. But you can see it's a huge construction site, and right now all construction is halted as they try and get this woman out of the trench. And we'll push in one more time. We did see two officers go down, and then we sort of lost sight of them. They had a restraint of sorts, and it appeared that they've made enough room down there that's going to be able to get around her and then hopefully get her to come up the ladder or pull her up the ladder. But boy, when someone is restraining, is fighting with you, it's extremely difficult to get them out of a situation like this. You can only imagine to try and get someone who's battling with a police officer saying, I don't want to leave, to get them to come up that ladder is not going to be easy. But they're doing the best they can. So we'll leave the shot up. That's what's going on. Once again, initial information, she's not injured. She's just unwilling to come out of the trench. And I'm Sky Rife in Air 7 over the Westlake district in the downtown Los Angeles area. Since about 7:45, we've had a woman that's trapped, actually not really trapped, but she willingly went down into this trench, and now she's refusing to come out. So in the last 45 minutes to an hour or so, we watched them take away all the debris that could fall into this trench, cut away some of the rebar, and make that opening big enough so they could get officers down there to try and get some sort of collar around her and get her to come up. They can see her. We understand she's not physically hurt. She's able, they think, to come up the ladder if she wanted to, but they've made that area bigger. Now there are 3 LAPD officers down on that ladder with her at this point in time. I thought earlier maybe in the next couple of minutes we would see her come up, but it's turning out to be extremely difficult to actually get around her and to get her to come up the ladder. And you can imagine when there's not enough space and you're dealing with someone who's combative and says, leave me alone, just how difficult that can be. So USAR responded here. It's at 5th and Bixel in downtown Los Angeles, actually the Westlake district, right next to the buildings in downtown, a little bit to the west of the 110 freeway. And you can see all the resources that have been dispatched here. Now, this construction crew, we believe, was the ones who called the LAPD and said there was a woman inside the trench. Now, they've had to halt construction here in the meantime, and LAPD officers are down in that trench. It's pretty dark. We can't even see them any longer, but there are 3 LAPD officers down. They have a restraint or a strap, if you will, and we understand she may be coming up right now. So the information we're receiving is they were able to get around her. They were able to get a hold of her, and now it's going to be a struggle to get her up the ladder, but it looks like they're in the process of doing so. And not only that, at this point in time, if she's combative, if she's struggling with officers, they don't want her to get hurt. It's not easy for someone who's going to struggle with you to get them to come up that ladder, but you can tell, I believe that's her back right there, if I'm not mistaken, Marcel. And they're trying to get her slowly up that ladder and out of the trench. So we understand initially she was not injured. She's just down in this trench, and she's unwilling to come out on her own. LA City Fire, they did all the work around this to open this up, but it's LAPD that had to go down and actually restrain her. They may have put cuffs on her. They put some sort of collar around her, and now they may just put a strap on her and pull her up if she's unwilling to come up on that ladder on her own. But at this point in time, it looks like they've made a lot of progress in trying to get this over with and to get her up out of this trench. In the meantime, it's a large response. The construction site has been shut down, and this has been going on since 7:45. So more than 2 hours now, they've been trying to work on getting this woman out of this trench without incident. It looks like this is going to come to an end here in a moment or so. You can see they're going to attach that line to the harness they put on her, and it looks like they're going to pull her up. It's because she's unwilling to come up that ladder. And it's nearly impossible to force someone to walk up a ladder if they refuse to. But they have a collar around her. Looks like they have a restraint on her. If you open up a little bit, Marcel, you can see that is attached to a hook and ladder from the fire truck there. And that pulley is just going to pull her right up, I believe. We're going to see that in just a moment. If we go back in there, it appeared that they were making progress. She won't come up the ladder. I believe they pulled the ladder away, if I'm not mistaken, or at least for the most part, they pulled it to the side. And once they have her restrained and they have that line attached to her, I believe they're just going to pull her straight up, and that could happen at any moment. But the interesting thing, you know, they don't know how she got in there. They say she found an entrance, and then when the construction crews got here, they heard her down in there, supposedly, and she just said, I'm not coming out. I'm just not going to come out. So the police were called initially. They tried to reason with her. She wouldn't come out. Then USAR, LA City Fires, Urban Search and Rescue responded. They're the ones who cleared everything out. They got rid of the rebar. They opened up the hole big enough so LAPD officers could get down in there. And I believe right now they're attaching the line, and we may see her hoisted out of this at any moment. Again, we don't believe she's injured. We don't believe she's hurt. Not physically. Obviously, there's some psych issues they're going to have to deal with, and they'll have medical assistants standing by to try and get her some care. But she's been in that trench now, in this hole, if you will, for over 2 hours, refusing to come out. I think we're on the final stages, but these things are tricky. It's complicated when someone does not want to cooperate, does not want to come out, and they've got to do their best to get her out and not hurt her in the process. They're certainly trying to do their best. They haven't gone to any extreme measures. They didn't put any tear gas into the hole or anything like that to try and urge her to come out. They basically just opened up the trench. They got officers down in there. They got a restraint around her, a collar, and you could tell she's still, it looks to me, me that she's combative. She's resisting the officers. It does not appear that she wants to come up, but I believe in a moment they'll have that line attached to the harness, and we will see her pulled up here in just a moment or two. So hopefully she gets out of this situation without being hurt. And again, you know, medical assistants are standing by to get her some care. But we'll keep this shot up. This is right in the heart, really just to the west side of downtown LA. It's the Westlake district, to be specific, at Bixel and 5th. It won't be a big traffic issue for you. I think 5th you can get by. Bixel is shut down, but it's not a major thoroughfare. And I think we can see more and more of her. It looks to me like now they do have the line attached to the harness. They're giving the signal to go ahead and hit the winch and pull her up. And now it appears that she is going to come out, and they're going to get her out of here safely. But boy, it was a technical rescue. It was a huge ordeal. Took more than 2 hours, but finally they have the woman out of this trench here. They'll be able to wrap things up. The construction crew will be able to get back to work.